Hey everyone, it's Matt, aka Tech Ranger, and today we are going to be taking a look at my 2024 load order for Skyrim. This is going to go through some changes like the one from last year, obviously. While this one uses a lot of the same mods that I have used in the past, there are some pretty big changes, and I wanted to go over 3 of those in this video like we do with other load order videos. While these videos are always fun to make, just keep in mind if you download some of these and install them mid-save, you might have some weird things that happen with your game. We are downloading and installing mods at our own risk anyways, on a save that may have had some older mods installed and then you removed them and then you add some new ones. You know, there could be some weird issues. On a new save, you know, that's a whole different story because you're starting fresh. In this video, we're just going to be looking at my load order. I'll mention some of the growing pains I've had with the creations update at the end of the video before we show the full list. With all that said, let's take a look at my first load order for Skyrim in 2024. You may have heard the phrase audio is everything, and that kind of applies to Skyrim as well in terms of the immersive nature of the game. Graphics mods are great, but sound makes a really big impact on the game. I wanted something all-encompassing, change pretty much every sound in the game, and so I found this audio sound effects overhaul. What's funny is the name of the mod is pretty self-explanatory, but it really does overhaul everything, even down to the impacts when you're attacking someone. But if you don't want the all-encompassing effect, that's okay, because there is actually several versions of this mod. So if you don't want to install the larger version, you can pick certain parts that you might like and then install that one. So in this section, I actually wanted to give you some sound samples. Putting on your headphones if you have them would be good to actually listen to this part. That way you can get the full effect. And that is just a small sampling of what this mod has to offer. Hopefully it was helpful to at least get you interested in looking at it. Everything sounds really good, and for a mod that's just over 100 megs, it's worth it in my list. If you all need some more examples, let me know in the comments down below, and I can do like a YouTube short or something showcasing more of these sounds. One last thing to keep in mind about this mod is that your sound settings, when you change them, they might reset on you. That's just the way a lot of these mods are, like even the Sounds of Skyrim when we looked at that one way back when. It's a small price to pay for what the mod actually does. Worth mentioning just in case you turn down the sound for the insects, but then next time when you load up your game, they are really loud again. Let me know what you all think about this one and if you're using another mod that replaces the sounds in the game. Finally happened, everybody. I actually switched to something other than Skyline for my landscape texture mod. I switched to the graphics pack. Now the graphics pack is not just a landscape texture mod, there's multiple mods in it. The main mod itself is more of an improvement on pretty much all of the things in Skyrim, but I'm using the full suites. I've got a static mesh improvement mod part of it, also the high poly project, as well as my landscape textures in dungeons. The important thing about the textures, that part, you're only going to need one of those. There's 3 of them and you can just kind of pick your flavor. 2 is what I went for, but you still get to have those benefits of the graphics pack itself, changing all the things, and all these really nice additions that the graphics pack brings. This one has been around for a while, and it's been a while since I've looked at it, so I wanted to go back and use it again just to see how it stacks up to things like Skyline. This is just a taste of all that, just to let you know that I'm using it in my loader currently. I'd like to do a video at some point, just like a nice relaxing stroll through modded Skyrim, and show more of this off, as well as the audio sound effects overhaul. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in the comments down below. You've probably noticed something so far in the footage in this video, and that's what this guy is wearing. The realistic armor overhaul is basically a compilation of a lot of Nord War armors, and then it's put into the game, and then it's replacing a lot of things that are already in the game. And that includes guard armor, which is something that can get stale over time even if you have some armor replacers already. Guard armor is generally the thing that stays the same, so having something like this adds more flavor into the game is always appreciated. And it changes some other armor sets too. So I've used something like New Legion armors before from Nord War, and that's changed the Legion to look more like the Roman Legion, which is really cool. But this is more expansive, and in terms of space, I was able to use the SWF version since I was using that to make use of Nordic UI, and it actually saves you a little bit of space. And that's going to do it for this video. I will have the full load order playing after this section. I do want to touch on one of the issues I had with the creations update when making this load order. I had this issue with some mods that have a different version, like the realistic armor overhaul. What happened here is I downloaded the regular version, and then I realized there was an SWF version that saved me some space. So I downloaded the other version, the SWF version, and as you can see here, the other one was still stuck there, but it had the space of the newer one. So for some reason this stays in your load order, even though it's not really active or is a mod. The only way I could get rid of it is if I rebuilt my list. And then in some cases it might create ghost space, so I had to like uninstall the game in this case and then redo everything again. The best advice that I can give, and it's probably not one that a lot of people want to hear, but it is to be succinct with what you're downloading and installing. Write a little list out, take note of things that you want to install and try out. When you start adding a bunch of mods and then deleting mods, it can get kind of messy. One last thing is this handy little menu here that we have now that we can turn the music off in. I would not use the option to install all your Creation Club content because that seems to be giving a lot of extra ghost space that will prevent you from downloading more mods. If you own the Anniversary Edition or have a lot of Creation Club content, I would install that stuff last, but that's enough for me. Now in this next section, I'm just going to have the load order play out. You can expect some videos following this one in the months ahead, just kind of going over some of the mods in this list. But have a great rest of your day, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.